Hey, how's it going? I want to share a little conversation I had with one of my clients just now. Um, I want to share some advice, the advice that I gave him to his problem. So what he told me was that he's talking to a lot of potential prospects, and he notices that it seems like every single person has a different problem. You know, for some it's like productivity, for some it's their sales, for some it's an offer thing potentially, another maybe it's their mindset. And he's like it's like solving a Rubik's cube, trying to piece this all together and help people. And what I told him is that, like, for business problems, almost every business problem can be reduced down to math, like very simple math, right? If you're trying to help them grow, especially like if that's your offer. Like he's helped accountants, and it doesn't matter who it is, right? But here's what I mean when I say math. I'm not talking like calculus or like trigonometry, any of the stuff I learned like in engineering. I mean like very simple, like 1 + 1 = 2. Simple math, right? So the problem is, before I get into this, is that most people, they have a story, right? Like, oh, business is really tough right now, or it's going great right now, or this is happening and this is happening, and there's all these different stories. But if we drill down, and this is really a mindset I learned from Frank Kern, so kudos to Frank Kern for this, because it's a great way to look at business. And if you drill down and look at the actual, like, your KPIs, right? Whatever your sales process is, business is easy. If you're trying to get clients, it's very easy. You need a marketing system to get them into your sales process, and then that sales process turns them into a client. And then from there, you need a fulfillment process, which ideally ends up with them being very happy and referring you to other people, potentially becoming like an ongoing client, paying you again and again, or maybe doing some kind of back end offer. But if we're talking like, how do I grow a business? It's like, okay, well, like, let's look at the math of it. What's the math of your marketing process? Okay, so if everything is to, like, most people, they think marketing is just to sell. Like, I want my marketing to do all the heavy lifting for me and sell for me, so I never have to talk to people again. But really, that's like, it can happen, yeah, but ideally it's doing most of the work for you. But so when you do get on the sales call, when they do go into your sales process, it's easy to close them, right? It does a lot of pre-selling for you, and pre-objection handling, pre-changing of beliefs. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The math of it is like, okay, like, you're making $10,000 per month right now. Okay, like, what do you sell? How much do you charge it for? Okay, it's like $2,500 per se. So you have 4 clients a month to make that 10K, right? Okay. And how many calls are you getting with new clients every week? And that might be like, I don't know, 1, right? Like, okay. Or I don't know, for mathematical sake, let's say they say 5 calls per week, and like, out of those 5, how many become a client? And maybe they'll say 2. So, okay, so are you saying, like, if we could just double that amount of calls, like, if we doubled that to 10, would that get you to the 20 grand if that's their goal? And they might be like, yeah, that would probably get me there, right? Or if we got that from 2 to like 4, so if you close at 80%, would that get you from the 10K per month to 20K? And they'd be like, yeah, that would probably help, but it's all like math. Okay, so like, what are the KPIs? It's like establishing them in any business. So if your main sales process, your main conversion tool is a phone call, it's like, okay, like, how many calls are you getting? How many of them are closing? And it's basically working with those numbers, right? So like, when people are like, oh, I have a mindset issue or a productivity stuff, at the end of the day, the thing that's actionable that you can look at to get a pulse on their business are like the metrics, the KPIs. Okay, so like the numbers I just said, like, what are the calls? What are your leads? How many leads are you getting? How many are converting into applications to talk to you? How many are closing? And then how many people who do say yes to you refer you, and how many of them ascend to your higher level models, or how many stay on and pay you like a retainer? And looking at those numbers, which is very like objective, not subjective, like open to your feelings is how we grow businesses, right? So most people, they're always stuck in their story. You're like, oh, like things are really tough and the corona, or I can't sell because of this or that, or there's competition super heavy right now and blah blah blah. It has nothing to do with the math. So moral of this video is just focus on the math. Okay, there's always math behind everything. So yeah, that's what I told to one of our clients. He seemed to get it. Hopefully you kind of get the message too. For you, it's just like thinking, if you're kind of unclear on how to grow your business, you think about the stuff I just said about your marketing and your lead gen, optimizing it for conversations, which lead to your sales process, which leads to them becoming a client. So like, there's only a few steps in that value chain that you really have to work out. And if you do need help with that, you can book a free call with myself or my business partner, Ryan. And if you want to do that, you can go to www.scalemyagencycall.com, and that's the easiest way to talk to either of us. And we can help you figure this all out for you and come up with a roadmap to hitting those 10, 20K per month marks, or months, or even like way beyond that, whatever your goal is. We can help you do that. Okay, so hopefully you enjoy this, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, bye.